Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out a new pair of headphones from the company KOSS. Now, my experience with KOSS for the most part is their headphones are pretty affordable, usually ranging from about 50 to 100 bucks. They did release a pair of electrostatic headphones a while back that came in at $1,000, but that's kind of its own thing because it comes with its own specific amp, and again, it's just kind of different. But the pair that we're going to check out today, which is the KOSS A550, this is a pair that I believe is going another step in towards more audiophile driven headphones. It is an open back headphone. It does come in retailing at $349, which from an audiophile perspective, that's more on the lower end of the spectrum, but can it compete with more expensive headphones? And how do these actually sound? Well, they are an open back pair of headphones, and my initial impression of these just from the design is it looks like a gaming headset. There's just something about it. I don't know if it's the D-style ear cups that they have. There's something about it that just screamed gaming, but it was the design that initially grabbed me. It has a matte white finish. It does have a brown vegan leather padding up at the top. There is a stainless steel headband that goes even above that, and it's using velour ear pads that have memory foam. Now, gaming headsets usually use this velour style ear pad, so maybe that's what made me think this looks like a gaming pair. Another thing that initially grabbed me was the size of the box. I mean, it's huge. Look at this. Like, it's way bigger than my head. It's definitely making you think you're getting something pretty impressive, because again, most KOSS packaging, at least in my experience, is usually small, nothing fancy about it. So they are taking a different approach with these, and even with that, they've designed their own driver. They're using what they call a KOSS RLX44 dynamic driver. It was specifically designed for these, and so this is a first of its kind, I believe, for KOSS. Another thing that I want to point out for the looks, and something that I feel is different, is the cable that they're using is actually mini XLR inputs that go into the headphones. Now, the part that plugs into whatever device you're using is a standard 3.5mm jack, but they've also included a 1/4" adapter as well. So you do have those if you're using an amp or something that uses that 1/4" plug-in. It's nice that they've included that in the box. And the cable itself is actually kind of nice. It's different. It has this cover, this clear cover that goes around the whole outside, and it looks like a braided cable, but it does just match. Everything about the looks of these, I think, really stands out. And that's kind of hard to do when a lot of design in headphones have kind of been done before. Now, as far as using these with an amp, it does come in with an impedance level of 52 ohms with a sensitivity of only 92 decibels. And what that means is these are actually fairly easy to drive. You can plug them into a phone if you have a headphone jack, plug them into your laptop or whatever, and you're going to get some decent volume, and you actually get some decent performance out of the lows, the mids, and the highs before even plugging these into an amp. But once I plugged them into my amp, which is the FIO K11, I mentioned this in pretty much every video that I use a pair of headphones that I plug into an amp. This pair is surprisingly very boomy. I did not expect this, although most of the KOSS headphones that I've tried in the past do kind of focus on the low end, so I don't really know why it surprised me. Maybe it's the fact that it's an open back pair of headphones, and generally my experience with open back headphones aren't really bass heavy. So I was surprised right out the gate with that, but they still accentuated the mids by bumping them a little bit forward. Male and female vocals I had no issues hearing. When I'm listening to rock or metal, guitars definitely have a nice forward approach to them. And the treble on these actually have some brightness to it as well. And I'm glad that they did this, so nothing got drowned out by the low end that these have. So for the most part, it's actually pretty dynamic, and with them being open back, it actually has a pretty spacious sound to them as well. So it definitely made me feel like I was in a very large open area, and it did a really good job of being able to tell where different sounds are coming from. And this kind of goes back to what I was saying, that these look like a gaming pair of headphones. They actually perform very well when it comes to gaming. Again, something about the space and the positional awareness, being able to hear dialogue, but also that bass being as boomy as it is. Explosions have some nice presence to them as well. So surprisingly, this is one of those headphones that I could go from music, to gaming to movies, and I didn't feel like, okay, it was only good at one thing but not really good at something else. I could see this being a headphone that a lot of people use for different types of media, not have to have like a gaming headphone for one thing and then another, for music. The only downfall obviously is there's no mic, so obviously you can't use them for gaming if you're wanting to use a mic for that. But I do a lot of campaigns and just single player games, so the mic's not important to me anyways. So my overall opinion is this is a fantastic looking pair of headphones that doesn't fall short when it comes to how it sounds or how it performs. And again, this is one of those that surprisingly doesn't need an amp. I could just say that you could plug it in straight into a laptop and watch a movie or game, and you're not going to feel like you're missing out on anything. But honestly, the best way to get the most out of it, I am going to still recommend plugging into an amp. It doesn't even have to be something expensive or over the top to really just elevate these to a pretty dynamic feel overall. Again, I wasn't expecting this on a pair like this, and it was just quite the surprise. And so if you're somebody that you would consider yourself an audiophile, or if you're somebody that's just a casual listener that likes a more dynamic tuning, you might want to check these out. But I'll have them linked in the description. Guys, that wraps up my video on the brand new KOSS A550s. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.